Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is the Incineration Gentleman, and welcome to Let's Play Lunacid. Hey, this is on Steam. Go give it a shot. Super great game. Check out their workshop. That's boundlessly helpful. Immediately, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers lately. Like, I really appreciate that. All the comments, the likes. The engagement has been crazy. The conversations we're having in the comments, some are hilarious. Some are, like, extremely nerdy and informative. Crazy lore drops, sometimes. Top notch. I love it. If that continues in any measure, I'm excited. And I'm super excited to be recording this. Maybe you are too, and I'll try to describe it a bit. So I can try to hype you up. We'll jump right in after. So, if you're into, like, the From Software games, that kind of franchise, and I mean old From Software, not modern stuff, not like Dark Souls and stuff. What am I trying to say? Eternal Ring, Shadow Tower, Kingsfield, all of that kind of ancient first-person dungeon crawler, like, vein, has been, we're digging right down into, like, the core concepts of that all into one thing. It's beautiful. I think you're gonna love this game. It has amazing music, amazing graphics. I think they captured what they were trying to emulate with those other titles just perfectly. Now, this isn't by From Software, of course. I'm not trying to imply that, but it's almost as if it was. It's so close. It's so good. Strong recommend. One of the best indie games I've ever played. I'll be praising it countlessly. Major problems will happen in this Let's Play with lag, and I will try to fix that by just re-recording the cutscenes, and we'll just jump in immediately. So I'm going to skip, from my perspective, the intro cutscene, because I've seen it so many times. Let's delete. No, not load. Karloff, that was our previous save that we were recording with. There we go. And start a new game on file 2. We will skip the intro cutscene, but you guys will see it by the powers of editing.
Long ago, a great beast came from the sea and brought with it a poisonous fog that spread across the earth. Corrupting everything it reached, the poison fog slowly transformed the world and brought about a new age. Now, grounded by the poison sky and outnumbered by creatures, humankind became desperate and formed feudal kingdoms. Closed off from each other, they became paranoid and are on the brink of extinction. Those deemed undesirable, such as criminals or the ill, are cast out, banished into the depths of the Great Well, a pit of the diseased and undead. The Great Well is said to have but one door to the surface.
Okay, character creation. That was a very quick loading screen from my perspective. I might have edited it in. We'll see. This is really cool. I can't think of any other game that does this. I'm going to point it out immediately. Down here on pronouns, that's really interesting. What game is that forward thinking? There we go. And then we'll talk about classes immediately. I love the inclusiveness of the pronouns thing, but we'll get to classes. I don't think a lot of these are particularly good. We'll slowly filter through them. And they all have their own descriptions. I'm partly covering them, but sorry about that. Let me actually take a moment. Well, no, I can't leave the window. I was going to move my webcam so you guys can read it. I only recommend 3 classes. The rest are decent, but I really, really recommend Vampire, which is awesome. The one thing that sucks about Vampire is using some types of magic, your health comes back super slowly. Hitting enemies and making them bleed heals you, which is huge. Fire really hurts. I mean, lightning really, really hurts. Which is what all these symbols down here represent. From left to right, it's normal, just damage, right? Fire, ice, poison, lightning, which also translates to light magic as well. It's like a double class, that one, the yellow. And then you get dark magic. And there's even some items that multi-class and multi-different types of magics. But I think we're going to go with the equivalent of the depraved class in most Dark Souls games, where you are stripped down to the bare bones. I want this to be a little bit more difficult than most playthroughs I've done, because I've played this a lot. There's so many endings, and I'd like to show you all. My goal is to have a full completionist playthrough on this. But yeah, I think we're definitely going to go for the Forsaken, but my favorite pick out of all 3 of these, that I think will be the ones I would ever use, Forsaken, Vampire, and then Thief, because Thief is just so well-rounded. It's only a level 5, and all their stats are 5. The resistances are almost like... they're pretty solid, actually. And they're even, chronologically, your character is referred to as a thief in the opening cutscene that you guys just saw. But we're going Forsaken. Let's pick a portrait. Something I haven't used before. That's obviously I think that's definitely a reference to Let Me Solo Her, the Elden Ring player, and gigantic meme now and legend of the internet. Honestly, that feels literally more my vibe than any of these. As you saw before when we were selecting our save, we were using that. I'm gonna go with this one, honestly, because it kind of fits the vibe of a Forsaken thing, where we've been forgotten, we're decayed, we're a skeleton. It fits all together. So let's pick a name now. What would be a good name, guys? I'm looking at my wall, I'm just something that jumps out at me. I don't know. Nothing's really grabbing my attention really fast. Squabba wabba dob. Let's do something dumb. I see Zelda. Let's just literally do the name Zelda backwards. Why not? Like, what's the harm in that? There. I don't know why my brain had such a hard time putting that in backwards, but we're taking forever on character creation, aren't we? We're excited. Every time any character's gonna say our name now, it's gonna seem like they're like almost screaming it, so that's actually hilarious. Nah, let's do something else. I'm trying to remember some names of some characters we picked in the past. No name? Yeah. Now, when you see that static effect on the screen that was happening in the background there will be lag. Sorry. We'll have frame drops occasionally in this game, especially in some environments with some of the effects that are happening. We're in. We're going. Hallowed Basin. Oh, it's almost pleasant down here. Ooh, we're not having frame drops, are we? A little. A little. Now we're going real slow. That's because every stat's at 0. Well, 1. Let's get moving. After we pick up this sword, I'd like to explain something as we're going. So this game is called, you know, Lunacid. Oh, so pretty. And the reason I think it's called that, replica sword, put that on, is because it's tied to the real phases of the moon, which is crazy. It's so cool that that's the thing. So whenever it's closer to the full moon, you get more experience. Well, no. You gain more lunacy. Go to our menu here. And lunacy, the higher that percentage is, the stronger your enemies are, the stronger you are, and the more experience you'll gain. The only way to get that to go up is by casting spells. But the higher, or, I'm sorry, the closer we are to a full moon in reality, the more you'll get from that lunacy thing. Which in turn means you'll get so much more experience from killing enemies based on your lunacy percentage. It's going to be crazy, some of the growth we have. Of course, we just picked up a sword. I'll try to explain something about the weapons soon. Or right this second. Why not? Everything has weapon experience. And the more you use them, you can eventually upgrade them in town. We'll show you that later. And it's so cool that it just does that. I'm stammering over my words. Let's read that statue back there first, actually. And this crystal here is for leveling up, saving, fast traveling. Very pleasant. Yeah. Newest of the Fallen, take up your sword and fight. Seek the slumbering creature of moonlight. They are the last existing door. Why they, though? Why that kind of deliberate acknowledging of multiple, I don't know, plural. It seems weird. We saw one creature in the cutscene. Before I break this pot, they're always going to be loud. Heads up, sorry. So by breaking pots, you can get gold, and occasionally ashes that can be used for alchemy. I should have thought not to speak over those, because honestly, it'll probably drown me out, the breaking noise of those pots. Now, up there in the just above our webcam, or mine, there's 2 circles, which are where spells go, and that blue bar that's slowly filling on the bottom when we break stuff is weapon experience. That's how you'll know how far that's going. When it's full, you can upgrade it at a specific location. The bigger the item, the more experience you get. See? And it also, you get so much experience in combat, but it's risky to fight with lesser weapons that haven't been upgraded yet. Let's break these skulls too. You can do this with almost anything that's destructible in the environment. Plants. It's crazy. I really think that's kind of interesting. And almost every item can do this. And sometimes multiple times. Now the bar above it that you see me filling up, if you click and hold, the more that bar fills, the more powerful your melee attack will be. Now you can just swing your weapon. It'll do minimum damage. Very minimum. But you can do that. And when you get very powerful weapons, or you use spells and weapons in tandem, you can pull off tactics like that, and it's actually really effective. You might think, why did he backtrack? For the weapon experience, and sometimes those coffins drop ashes, which alchemy is a thing in this game. You can make potions and different items. I've only found so many recipes, though. I think I've already said it, but we're going for a completionist run in this. Try to get everything, try to show you everything. So I'm going to try to be very thorough. Thorough. Yes. Immediately, let's go do some exploring. Ooh, locked. I don't know if you guys can see that. We'll go the other way. That'll be a shortcut soon. May as well cut some plants as we're going. Don't want to spend all the time in the world cutting the plants. Now what's cool about this game is there's countless secrets everywhere. Everywhere. I love that. It's so interesting they do that. Oh, why are we having lag, y'all? It's crazy. I'm sorry. Many people have died down here. And that's been quite some time he's been dead. There's a few more people here that have sadly lost their lives. You know what? Here's something really cool. You can actually use these paths that are making light to get to other areas. If we were able to jump high enough, we could get up there. And what we would need to be able to jump that high would be either a very high dexterity skill or a very specific spell. First taste of combat. There is dismemberment, and that was a critical hit sound you heard as well. You often hear it when you dismember things. In my free time, I may come back and farm these slugs, these brown ones, because there's a chance they can drop an extremely helpful ring. Oh, we got hit there because I just closed my eyes and cleared my throat. Ocean bone shard. That is another crafting material. Oh, hello there. Now this tactic of walking up, waiting for your charge attack when you start like holding the button and walking back to antagonize the enemy, it's a very effective strategy in both Shadow Tower, this game, well, oh wow, there's like 5 titles, different franchises. And they're all by From Software, the Kingsfield games and Eternal Ring. All this translates this walk up, walk back kind of pattern. Very nostalgic, this. I consider this the first boss we're going to fight. They're common enemies in later areas, but right now this is pretty gnarly to be fighting a milk snail. If we were lucky, it would drop a very specific item. Now, these are very dangerous. They do have a projectile attack, and as you can see, a lot of life. Their melee attacks do significant damage as well. Oh, come back here. It skipped frames to just face us, you know? There we go. I can get his attention by hitting the shell, but it won't do a lot of damage when he receipts back in his shell like that. He gave us 10 coin. I thought he dropped what we were wanting to get. There's a chance he could drop a weapon. We're having a little lag. I'm sure you guys are seeing it, of course. Now these guys, right here, I forget their name, but they're harmless unless attacked. So for the time being, we're going to leave them alone. One of our first lootables. A mana potion. It'll give us magic when we're completely out. Fill us totally, actually, which is really nice. You know what I'm going to show you, actually, after we grab this first spell? Which the spells in this game are so Eternal Ring. You have to wear a ring to have magic. And immediately we're actually going to use it. It is a light spell, lightning-based, technically, summons a special or a spectral orb of light that follows the caster for 60 seconds, useful for illuminating the depths of the well. You hold the casting button until you see that symbol in the center, and that means you're ready to go. So what I deliberately do is jump, we're right about, yay, there. Perfect. And that'll follow us. I deliberately don't look forward and cast it because it will just be in front of you. Forever. I'd rather it be beneath me or above me. And if you just look down and not jump and cast it, it will be in the ground, barely illuminating anything. Utilize your environment, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. But from us doing that one cast of that spell, we gained 8 lunacy. So what that means is we'll get more experience, but the enemies are a bit stronger. So I'm going to continue casting this as we're walking, as I'm looking at the ground. Just willy-nilly. Try to fill up our lunacy, and sadly the camera's covering it. But under that gray circle where you see that our second spell slot is empty, there's a small moon symbol that's filling up. And it seems every time we're casting this, we're getting 8 lunacy. Yeah, that's the last time we could. We got 42. So, what I'm actually going to do is fight 1 or 2 of these things. Because we have quite a lot of life, and we're going to get a buku experience from doing so. But it's very dangerous, this. They have a ranged attack. They can curse us, which means we cannot... There we go. We cannot attack, but we can run and jump and cast spells. The status effects in these games are very reminiscent of the Kingsfield games. There is blindness as well, which is the worst. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what's the utilization of all the armor and things like that? Will it be the same as those old games? No. The only means of defense you have in this game is blocking, like we were talking about, and the blocking is strange. You can tap it, and it will hold up the sword, just indefinitely. But there's also, when you tap it again, you push and hold, and then you release the hold on the mouse, and then he lets go. That's the right click. So in real time, it's either a push and hold or a toggle ability. Never really seen that in any other game before. But there's no armor, sadly. That's basically your only defense besides having a large life pool. And down here you see resistances. Oh no, we're a thief class. That's fine. I wanted to be a Forsaken, but thief is fine. But that's basically your ability to not take damages from different elements, and also just outright raw damage resistance. So it's like your skin is armor. I'm glad we picked a skeleton, actually, because our hand looks very undead anyway. We picked up some obsidian there. Ah, see, this is good. Now you might be wondering, why did I not immediately equip that mana potion? I don't want to accidentally use it and waste it. Right here, let's go and... No, not rings. Quick items, and put on healing potion. A golden vial of blood that fully restores the drinker's vitality given to knights during the subterranean crusades. These vials remain as a precious relic of those times. So these are ancient. Let's immediately put it on. Now we're going to see something weird in a little bit that I'll just let you guys wait for that one. I don't want to spoil anything. I know I'm giving you a lot of stuff, just dropping it all on you immediately, but I want to get a lot done in this amount of time that I'm going to be recording. As you can see there, above the webcam, our experience for our weapon is actually currently highlighted sky blue instead of that dull greenish. That means it's ready to level up. And we actually just got our first combat-based spell, Flame Spear. Fires a flaming javelin, a weaponized form of pyromancy. Little nod there at From Software, actually, with the Demon Souls and Dark Souls games. Created by the Witch Ashley, the Fire Witch Ashley. Well, why not equip that in slot 2? And there... Oh, I forgot to explain this. We'll talk to her in a moment. She's a friend. Shortcut opened. Now, I won't say anything more about her. We'll talk to her in a moment. Getting around the time that I want to actually wrap up the first episode. You know what I'm going to do? I'll explain something about these crystals. Every time you use them, it resets your Lunacid to 0, and that means we'll be losing our bonus experience. But every time you use one of these to teleport back to either the area you are or to another area, all the enemies come back. And I thought about refarming the area, but no. What we're going to do is we're going to go down a different path this time, because there's one more item I want to get in this land, and for the time being, we've gotten everything we can. There's other items to get from here, specifically in the future. Oh, missed. Nice. 10 more gold. Well, it's not really gold, it's like silver, but you know what I'm saying. 24 is a good starter amount. We'll need a decent amount of gold. Now, let's read this. Temple of Silence, Hollow Basin. The Temple of Silence, in chronological order, is where we should be going next, but I might not be doing that. But we need to go back to town, via talking to that girl we saw earlier, to obtain a special key to open this living demon door. which is fucking metal. That is like one of the sickest things I can think of. Let me just check down here real fast. Yeah, it leads back to that section where we fought all the original brown snails and the milk snail. But we are doing just fine. Down here, by our mouse, you can see experience 327%. Technically, that translates to about 3 level ups. Every 100%, you know, level up. And you utilize your experience all at once at, or as much as you really like to, incrementally even, at those purple and pinkish kind of shaded neon crystals. You know what's lovely about this game besides the music? The fact that it identifies the track that you're currently listening to in the bottom left down there. Really nice. That's so cool. Now, I think her name is Dima? Dima? Oh, come on, talk. Well, you look a little lost. Oh, we gotta click, don't we? Yeah. This area is called Hallow Basin. It is the highest reached point of the Great Well, which is this entire subterranean world we are currently in. It's also one of the safest areas in the Great Well, except, of course, Wing's Rest. Speaking of Wing's Rest, I can spirit you there if you want. Gotcha. One moment. She's the only way to get to that town right now. We need to get there real bad. There's stuff we need. She's a forever helper in the game. And if you ask me, I think she's currently a Reaper. Like, literally. Like an ethereal cosmic being that controls life and death. They're like basically the concept of what we know as the Grim Reaper. She's the equivalent of that. And I think lore will explain that later. First pick up. Crystal Shard. Super important. We'll talk to everybody soon. We're just going to do around a little bit of looting, and immediately we're going to upgrade this sword. I'm going to show you how. Enjoy the lo-fi beats. This is the blacksmith's grave, and with this oil... Oop, there we go. You can enchant weapon. Yes. Now we took the... I think it was called Relic Sword, and made the Heritage Sword. Much better weapon in every way. Damage got a bump, the speed's much better. A steel longsword typically given to the castle guard. Though the castle fell long ago, these swords remain as a testament to the quality of the royal armory and have been have been passed down for generations. Nice. You know, you could even, like, literally beat the game with this weapon if you wanted to. Now, the two things I only want to explain about this, because the rest is self-explanatory on reach and guard. Guard, well, I will explain a little bit, is that percentage is how much damage you won't be taking from the enemy's hits. Backstabbing, or backstep, is when you do guard, you will back up a little bit. And thrust is when you are hitting at a fully powered attack, your character will lunge forward slightly. That's all those mean. And all those values with different weapons change over time. A little homage to the moon. The moon cried to us in our time of need. Let's loot these boxes and we'll talk to that person in one moment. Oh, didn't mean to hit that tint. A little more gold. Ocean bone shard I saw. And a mana potion. Good loot. Great finds. Let's do a little chatting. Shirey? The crow. Oh, what a mess you've caught yourself in. You've been caught up in. Bleh, if I could talk. Welcome to the depths, outsider. Escaped to the outside world, or the outworld, has long been a myth. Ka. But if you're going to explore, why not prepare yourself? Fancy a new trinket, perhaps? Yes. We need this key. A bewitched key made from ocean bone. Able to remove the enchanted gates that have been put in place after the Crusades. So those gates have been up forever. Immediately buy that. And the next thing I want to buy later is a crossbow. That'll be one of our first ranged weapons. It's quite powerful. And ranged weapons in this game is the way to go. So that's our next goal financially. We're not going to buy anything. I think everything would be basically self-explanatory. And we're never going to buy the silver needle. That weapon's garbage. And you can get it for free later anyway. Thank you, bird lady. Talk to Denma a little bit more. Oh good, it worked. Last time I tried that spell, it only worked about halfway. Does that mean, like, he was cut in half? Or, like, only you came, and he was just standing there like a dumbass? Or, like, you both went, right? And, like, just half the distance. What does that... All of that's bad. So this is Wing's Rest, an old temple of sorts made by a pseudo kind of like holy monks. They were banished to the Great Well back during the Crusades. Although they are long gone, their protective magic still lingers. Huh. Very Berserk, that. If you guys have read Berserk, Guts' Godo's cave, the guy that makes Guts' weapons, is an enchanted cave that wards off evil with ancient magic. Take your time and relax here. If you want to head back out, use the crystal where you came in. Thank you, Dima. Oh wait, let's talk to her again. I think she gives us an item. Hiya. Take your time and relax. If you want to take... Oh, I thought she gave us an item. Maybe not with the thief class. Every class you pick, she gives you a different starter item. And sometimes she gives you items that you can only get for being a specific class, which is so cool. Itna. Salutations, Outlander. Welcome to the depths. I'm Itna. I study the sacred art of alchemy down here. If you happen on any materials during your travels, you should bring them back to me. Want to do some alchemy? Why not? I do have some formulas unlocked, and you can actually find all of these on the Steam community work page or dashboard, and it's been all lovely sectioned in theme to this. Very helpful. All I want to try to make right now is maybe some throwing knives, because I know we might have what we need with that. Oh, we can't forge nothing. Oh, we only got 2 shards. If we had one more, we could. She will be essential in the future. And if you look at her, it's like her skin and body is like a shimmering universe. Literally, like, stare at her for a second. It's crazy. It's so cool. Clive? I think your name is Clive. Clive? Clive? I think Clive. Yeah! This guy's amazing. The lore on this dude. No spoilers, but straight G. But call me Clive. Though that's not really my name. I seem to have lost it. My memory isn't quite what it used to be. But my bones are good. I stay young by drinking these little health tonics. Here, why don't you take some? And oh, you look a little mealy. Be careful. In wandering the depths, not everything out there is as peaceful as a skeleton. So we met everybody now. If you ever want lore, or randomly just to talk to this guy, which I would like to a lot, he'll just give you understandings of the world. He's basically our resident, Am I stuck? Oh, I was for a moment. He's basically like the village elder, you know? Now my goal is to get up here to that potion. See it? We need to find the right places to jump up, and I'm gonna try here. I don't know if we can do this with our low stats currently, but we're gonna give it a shot. Cool. Alright, we need to jump up to this little lipped area right here. Oh, can we not reach it yet? I don't know if we can. Okay, so what we're gonna do immediately... I didn't really want to do this. I should have held off and saved my magic so we would have a higher lunacy. We're going to activate this crystal and level up slightly. I want to save more of our skill points in the future. But we're now level 8. We have 12 to use. So we'll just go in order here. Strength is, of course, your maximum damage that you do with melee attacks. And how much life you have. just in general. Defense is how much life you have, of course, and how hard it is for you to break your guard when enemies are hitting you while you're blocking. The higher your defense, the less likely you're going to have your guard broken, which is kind of nice, but I never really mess with defense very much at all, because you get a lot of life from strength anyhow. Speed is speed, determines how much you run. Dexterity is your maximum jump height and your damage with ranged weapons, which we're going to need right now. We're going to raise that up to 10. And why not speed 2? We're a little sluggish, huh? Keep it even at 11. Intelligence determines how much maximum magic we have, how easily we can cast spells, and, you know, that just cuts down the timer on how long it takes to charge spells. You don't just push the button immediately and cast it. When you get very high intelligence, you can. And how much damage the spell does as well. Resistance is also that, but it doesn't affect our health. It affects how long, like, say we're poisoned. High resistance, you're not poisoned very much at all when you do get poisoned. And, of course, makes it harder for status effects to happen to you in the first place. We're going to finish leveling up and go back and grab that potion. It's vital. And we'll try to get one more episode in. Once again, hey, sorry about the quality if we're having, like, lag drops and all that. Oh, random cool thing about this game. I'm just going to drop on you. Ocean Elixir obtained, or acquired. In the option menu, you can actually change the sound effect of your footsteps when you walk, which is so cool. How many games let you do that? You can even pick if you want to be right-handed or left-handed, which makes no sense because we saw him get his hand cut off. Anyway, let's drink that elixir we just picked up. A flask of enchanted ocean water, or water, embodied by the spirit of the ocean. By drinking it, one becomes closer to the ocean and gains plus 40 maximum magic, or mana, permanently. So we're going to equip that and immediately use it. MP power up. So now we have 96 magic, which is very good. That's super helpful. We're going to make sure we actually select empty, so we don't keep trying to push an empty potion trying to drink it. I would like to have only things that are viable and usable on the bar. You know what, guys? I think we've made some major progress in the first episode, even though I've been rambling for quite some time. Let's warp back. Let's warp back to Hallowed Basin, and then we'll save it. I think we bought the key, didn't we? Ooh, I think we did. But we'll be sure about that in the next episode. Let's walk over here and save. Also, I often walk around like this in the game, but it obscures our view. I wanted to make sure everything was nice and clean and clear, as best as I could. Okay. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Let me know what you think about the series. If there's any other movies you guys want me to put up in the, listings on the channel, let me know, but make sure it's not something that's going to give me problems with copyright, okay? Anywho, I'm going to continue this soon. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. My name was the Incineration Gentleman, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.